Netflix brilliance, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Can I get you out of my head again? Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you out of my head again.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling that I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming, so sick of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway.
Wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks, I'm beaten down. I cross the lines just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't even say that I drown with a child's play in the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
I teach you what I know. What comes up must come down. Gravity keeps on pulling us down. The moment is now. Sunrise again. Show them gravity. The antidote is what you make it. Your ignorance don't need to break it. Defy gravity. I'm not what we get. I shall take you away. Take the right like this. Won't repeat the words twice. My time is the price and no dice. Will steal my rights.
Hello, and welcome to Women's Classic Wrestling Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Auntie Collins. Over to my left, but your right is the natural Aster Pizarro. And rounding out the bottom over here, we have the stunning Mo Collins. Hello. How's everyone doing?
It's a Monday, isn't it?
It is. Miss Penny, what are you eating? Hey, drop it. Hey.
Uh-oh. Someone's in trouble. She messed up the bed and she stole something.
What is this?
Piece of the Mondays for everybody.
What
I was
is
about to
this?
say that.
Sorry, I just extracted something from my dog's mouth. What is this? Hold on.
Oh.
I don't know what this is. Hold on.
Let the investigation begin.
Somebody's in trouble.
Someone's in big trouble. Astrid, how are you doing today?
Doing all right for a Monday, right? One of the cases of the Mondays. How are you doing, my friend?
You know, the reason we're late is because of me. I'm not going to lie. I lost track of time because I was putting myself in a good mood, listening to some pippity poppity music that I couldn't understand, and that's probably why I enjoyed it. Because Lord knows, if I could, I probably wouldn't enjoy it. Now would I? This is probably why I relate to the Elder Lord Bobby Munson in our screamy, screamy, loud, ragey, ragey music.
Yeah,
Seems like
that's what
Auntie is still on the hunt over there.
I was gonna say that's why we have those theme songs in Oli, because we like that type of music.
Exactly. And we've got some great choices. I love listening to them as we're sitting here going through the intros.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, the investigation is complete.
Wait,
What was it?
Y'all, my
I see.
husband gave her a treat that did not look like a treat.
No.
was bright
Oh, it looked like a pepperoni stick when you put it on camera.
That was wild. She was making weird noises, like she was choking on it.
Oh,
Okay,
that's not good.
we're good.
Mystery solved.
Crisis averted. Maybe she was choking, and I'm over here saving her life, but she's snapping at me.
Oh,
You know.
Jesus.
You know, dogs.
Chihuahuas.
Yeah, exactly.
Bite first,
Oh.
apologize later.
Exactly. I mean, same goes for me. Same goes for me.
Relatable.
Relatable.
Yes.
Hi, party people. Hi, look at all of my friends are in the chat. Hello. Hi,
Yeah.
Millie. Papa Smokes. Oh my goodness. What an honor.
Papa Smokes.
Bobby, I had a dream about he was driving a forklift in my dream.
Oh,
Yeah. And he wasn't
interesting.
he wasn't working in a warehouse. He was just driving a forklift. And I was like, that's weird. But okay.
Because rage against the machine and normalcy.
Why not? Why not?
True.
But how's y'all's Monday? What catch me up? What's going on with your life?
I did my nails. I got my nails done. It was a
so
self-care
pretty.
day today. They're just black, like my heart and my soul.
Listen,
But they're
they're
black.
better than
No, it's not. I was gonna say
this.
It's nice to have claws again. Wow.
I had press-ons for a little bit, and then I don't know about the glue I was using because it like tore up my cuticles. So I took them off. They didn't hurt my nails.
Oh, that's good.
But my cuticles were like red for a really long time. So I was like, I gotta give myself some time. I miss my claws though.
Yeah. You can always try the press-ons again and maybe pull them just a teeny tiny bit further down away from the cuticle to maybe try to avoid the glue.
I'm just wondering if it's the kind of glue because I did get like the cheaper, not as expensive one.
Yeah.
But you know,
I usually get a super glue one. It literally says super glue brand on the side of it. My nails, when I get ones, they tend to destroy the nail entirely. Oh, at least yours didn't though. That sounds like a other than the cuticle irritation.
But I also have like, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. My doctor said it's something that where it's like, because my hair, my nails, and my skin, like they reproduce a lot. I don't know what that means.
Oh.
So my nails grow really long, but really fast. So they do break off. So I have to like put a lot of the like the bond rebuilder stuff on it, and like
You should just
You
put
know.
like a clear gel overlay and just strengthen them, keep them natural.
is there anything about me that's natural?
Oh my god.
Mm.
What a way to start the stream.
I mean,
Audrey, this is for you.
at least things are natural. I don't know. I got Botox in my face. It's fine. It's fine.
I want some so bad. But I'm also scared of needles, says the girl who has 7 tattoos.
That's true.
Girl logic.
I do need to go back in soon, but you know, I use the excuse that they help my migraines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, but you know. Well, what a wonderful day it is. It's Monday. Astrid, did you enjoy the Super Bowl? I assume Melball didn't watch it because you're Canadian.
I spent the day binge watching Noah and Stardom shows. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Astrid, did you watch the Super Bowl at all?
I said yes and no because I was watching a horror movie and I just caught like the end when I got home.
You were watching a horror movie called The Super Bowl?
Yeah, sure. For a lot of people, it was a horror movie.
Oh my gosh. I had it on the background while I was doing other things like laundry, and then when the Eagles were like obviously going to win, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna read my book. And I got some pages in my book, which is nice. So, but tune out by halftime. What is it? I don't understand like sports in general, because it's like
if I can do it, I don't want to watch it. Hence why I watch wrestling.
Yeah. I just sometimes it like hurts my heart because like I don't know, I see people like be overtly nasty, and maybe this is related to trauma, but like people go to toes for their team. Like they will burn down cities for their team, which does not make sense to me.
Oh yeah, I'm in Edmonton. We have the Edmonton Oilers here. You guys probably know all about freaking them.
Yeah.
Every time there's a game, I'm like, so are we going to have a crater in downtown tomorrow, or is it just a regular Thursday?
That's insane.
Oh, and thank you to get the tables for the raid. I'm guessing you will get the tables that we got a raid on Twitch, so thank you.
Thank you.
And see, if for everybody that's here, we're OLE Podcast, so you can follow us in any of those social media platforms.
Yes.
Hey. Cheap plug.
Oh my goodness. Glad they rated us now, not while I was grabbing things out of my dog's mouth. Saving her life from choking.
Yeah, Drake's a tough one for us. He's like Bieber. It's like, yeah, we don't really want him though.
You don't claim him.
I forgot he's Canadian.
No, that doesn't mean we want to claim them. So is Chris Jericho. We don't want that back.
I mean, he's technically born in the great state of New York. So
keep him, please, and take Don Callis with you.
Oh my God. Oh my
I'm
God.
a terrible Canadian. I don't like hockey, and I don't like Kenny Omega.
This is where I exit. Bye, y'all. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. How can you say that? How can you say that?
Because I feel that here's the thing. I don't like AEW version of Kenny Omega.
Okay.
NJPW version Kenny Omega is arguably the best version of Kenny Omega that we've had. I'm sorry, Melly, I love you. But yeah, I'm very much NJPW Kenny Omega was the prime de la prime Kenny Omega, and anything afterwards is just kind of like limping along Kenny Omega. I will say though,
limping along.
Wrestle Dynasty. Him versus Gabe Kidd, that brought me back to the Kenny Omega train. But then again, every AEW person who comes over to Japan wrestles the Japanese style
Okay.
versus the North American style. So I'm curious to see what happens in North America since. But yeah, that's my hot take on Kenny Omega.
This is
I don't
insane.
hate Kenny Omega entirely. Yes, I don't like this current version of Kenny Omega. Because, like, every time someone from New Japan comes over to AEW, it's Jay White, it's Juice Robinson, it's Mr. Bitch now. It makes me sad. I could join you for wrestling, things in wrestling that make me cry. That's what AEW does to my New Japan guys.
Oh no.
That being said,
my
though, I am
God.
trying to turn over a leaf this year. I'm trying to
A
give
maple
more
leaf?
chances. Yeah, hey, there we go. Can start flipping a maple leaf and letting it twirl to the ground, heads or tails. We're gonna
I'm
support
crying
AEW
already.
this year.
Oh my god. You're crying already?
Already.
Ah,
Oh my God.
Already. We've just begun. We've just begun.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we just have the one, but what a one.
What a one. Oh my gosh.
What a
Well,
one.
amen.
man.
Amen. But here's the thing. Kenny Omega changed my life. And if you don't like him, that's okay. Because more for me.
Exactly. Exactly.
I may
Wrestling is
be
for everyone.
I may be queer auntie. And I may be betrothed. But everybody knows what those corn cob abs do to me. So
Yeah. It's true. It's damn true.
I like it. Well,
Yeah.
we don't have any corn cob abs to talk about, and we only have one match to talk about. So thank you so much if you are joining us in the live stream right now. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you so much. We have one match to talk about. We are in the finals of the Mae Young Classic, Season 1. What a historic event. What a historic, I don't know, tournament classic that we've been through. And this episode really made it feel like a big freaking deal. They rolled out the red carpet, they rolled out Lillian Garcia, they had legends, they had current roster. It felt like a big deal.
Mhm.
What did
You
y'all think
could have made
about
it better with the production, though.
what do you mean?
Commentary. A guest commentator,
Aw.
might have known some
Oh.
stuff. What might have been more helpful in this situation.
I mean, they have
However,
Moro at ringside. They could have him jump in there.
I know. Seeing him made me really just miss him so much.
Yeah, Mamma Mia.
wasn't he with?
Can you do that again, please? Mamma mia!
This is a regular Mel Ball thing. It depends on how many fingers
Yeah.
are
That's
up.
true.
Will depend on the level of seriousness and the tone behind the shake.
Okay. Okay.
And how many hands? If we get two, it's a catastrophe.
Okay. Wow.
You see this a lot in New Japan Puroresu review on Andre and Mel Ball Wrestling Talk.
How do you do that with your hands? I don't know how to do it.
It's
Oh,
all in
that's
the- There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did
Look,
it.
I'm mad at you.
I
Oh
do
my
have to
God.
say, all of my relatives,
Poor Astrid.
all of my
I'm
relatives on
dying
my
here.
dad's side are shaking their head because they make sauce. They're the sauce. It's like
SAWST. Sauced.
sauce. Exactly. Oh, but
This has gone off the rails, and I love it.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, we can just jump right into it. I felt like them adding the aspect of having a red carpet, and I can't remember where this was placed because it was on the WWE network. But from what I remember, 205 Live was also on the network. So I feel like it was sandwiched between things here. Uh did you guys feel like this was a big deal? Do you feel like this was like the first time WWE had made a big deal about women's wrestling as a whole for you watching this?
I wouldn't say as a whole, but I do like the presentation that they gave it, just because they wanted to make it special somehow, being especially that it was the first time they were doing it. And like you said, having like not only the red carpet, but showing people backstage and the legends at ringside and the current roster on ringside watching the girls too, especially before to the horsewomen, which are very important, especially in this era too.
Yep.
And we also get the Rock's mom, which was random to see there, to see like
Yeah.
her being with a nameplate. And for those that don't know her at the time, Ava Rain too. She's the other one that's there beside her as well. But I like their presentation. There's also another athlete there. I forgot her name. That I forgot to type out. Erica. I don't know how to say her last name. Weeby, maybe. But I do like that there's that presentation of her. She's an athlete. We also have Ronda, who hadn't signed with WWE at that time yet, and we have a little bit of showing women in sports all around here as they show the presentation. And like you said, not only that, but having Lillian Garcia there, it's not often at this time that you get somebody like Lillian doing this. So it's like we're bringing out the big guns for this. And they show you a glimpse of like the red carpet, and they show some of the girls at ringside, like Mercedes Martinez that participated, Candice LeRae, Tony, and Piper at ringside to show them off as well. But yeah, all around, I feel like I love the presentation they give us before the match itself. And I feel that's what makes it look like, oh, this is something important. But I wish I would have capitalized on it moving forward rather than just this one time. So that's why it doesn't feel like it's just like the all time, because I feel like this is something they could have, even with taking a break, I feel like something they could have kept going. Like I mentioned it in one of our earlier episodes. I feel like right now there's a lot of girls in the indie scene that could benefit from being a part of something like this. And they have basically options, a lot of options right now for women to do this at this time.
Yeah. What do you think, Melball?
I like that. I found it interesting that half of what I saw for the lead up to the match, well, like it was like a 30-minute kind of slot. Half of it was that montage buildup, the review, the kind of, it really, I really appreciate how the WWE does that production, in that if you are a first time viewer, it kind of catches you up to speed really quick. And if you're a long time viewer, kind of coming through, knowing what's going on, it's a nice little recap to kind of recap the journey coming along there. I always appreciate the WWE for that storytelling. It's something that sometimes is lacking in other places, and like helps again introduce brand new viewers to the product and refresh old viewers like me who have ADHD and forget everything.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. I also want to mention that this was like right after, well, a couple years after they give Divas a chance. So in the height of all the things and the tone of everything, this was a gamble, so to speak. And you can see from the crowd the way that they respond to both Shayna and Kairi in this finals match, that that was a chance that they should have taken a long time ago. But I want them to do something like this again. And it's hard to say that on the foot of hearing about all the releases this weekend, where there could have been something more. I mean, for goodness sake, they were on television the week before. They were in the Rumble, the week before. And it is hard to, oh, what could have been if we kept doing something like this. I'm trying to think of it as a pleasant memory rather than a, I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of, but thinking it as like bittersweet of like, okay, you did it once and look where that has led us, you know? But I'm ready to jump into the match if you are.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, as mentioned, Lillian Garcia is ring announcing, which at this time I don't think that she was a regular. I think that it had been a while since she had been ring announcing. But it had that big fight feel. Unfortunately, Jessica Carr wasn't the ref for whatever reason. I know that she was down in NXT. But I know that commentary had mentioned that our ref for tonight was Japanese, which I feel like was really interesting to mention because I wouldn't have presumed so. But we have the 4 horsewomen in the crowd. And they keep panning to Ronda Rousey, which is also like, okay, we get it. You're putting a lot behind Ronda at this point, but the focus is on Shayna. This match has so many different layers to it, and it is by far the best match in this entire tournament. As much as I want to talk about how striking Shayna Baszler was, I would be remiss if I didn't mention how insane Kairi Sane was. The devastating blows that she put. I mean, I did notice on my second watch through, part of her gear started coming apart, and I was like, oh. But as much as people thought Shayna Baszler is going to murder her, it's going to be, you know, one and done. Obviously, the 4 horsemen should win because Ronda Rousey. But no. Kairi Sane had that insane rebuttal to a lot of Shayna Baszler's ground and pounds. A lot of things that I missed in that first watch, you know, what, 7 years ago, came back to see, where you can see Kairi Sane's, you know, work in Japan coming down to it. So I want to pass it off to y'all. I want to know what you have to think or what you have to say, because I could gush on and on about this match, but I want to hear what you have to say. So, rock, paper, scissors.
Come on.
Here.
Rock, paper, scissors. This is the funniest one you've chosen.
It feels awkward
Alright.
to do it like this when there's nobody. It feels weird when there's nobody here, but it's on screen. It feels awkward.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well-
I'm doing it alone.
Most do that one alone,
That's
girl.
what this podcast is no longer a women's wrestling podcast. It is now a competition for rock, paper, scissors. No, Millball, tell me about your thoughts about this match. I want to see what you think.
So for me, I kind of looked at this and I was like, ooh, this is like something I get regularly in Stardom. This felt like a Stardom match to
Ooh.
me, where it was
Lucky
like
you.
two people who very much have that martial arts background and are flexing it on each other, but still have a very high education in the professional wrestling aspect. We were seeing that kind of showmanship still coming through with Kairi Sane. We were seeing that aggression and that expressions coming through even more with Shayna, who'd been like slowly building up her like kind of facial expressions and animations throughout the tournament. Because at the beginning, she was pretty dominant. It was almost like she was kind of making light work of the competition earlier. And as she progressed through the tournament, we saw her getting more and more aggressive, more angry, until finally, you know, attacking LeRae after the match that she had with her. So like, this was a fun build for me. There was a little bit of some storytelling here. And you mentioned the gear. I noticed that as well. And I also noticed, again, like Stardom, they have all these strappy gears, which are like fail safes for fail safes for fail safes. I have never, for as scrappy and little as their gear is, seen a wardrobe malfunction in them. I have seen gear start falling off, but because they're whoever their seamstresses are or gods, they it's just dingly dangling there for the rest of the match. It doesn't go anywhere, and it doesn't seem to impact the match at all. It is so good. But we started to see, it's still the cutesiness with Kairi, but this kind of aggression that started coming out of her that we again see typically in Stardom Wrestling, especially in these kind of matches where you're very obviously at a disadvantage against monster like Shayna Baszler. As you mentioned, though, I did appreciate that there seemed to be a very even back and forth, just the size difference, and that we started to see the true strength, if you will, of Kairi Sane. There was this one thing though that Shayna Baszler did. Andre would know what it is. I have no idea, and neither did commentary. Where Shayna Baszler tied up the arm and did that little twist, kind of similar to what Zack Sabre Jr. does on the neck. I really appreciated that because I was like, oh, I recognize that. I understood that reference. Story here was obviously Baszler working on that arm, wanting to avoid the insane elbow. Ground and pounds that she was doing though were just sudden and out of nowhere. But there was one point in the beginning there where Kairi Sane had an answer for every submission that Shayna was trying to put her on, and you could see the frustration building very, very early on for Baszler. I feel Kairi worked that frustration throughout the entire match, which inevitably came to the end here. I also appreciated also that Shayna Baszler put Sane in a little bit of a Kimura lock on the top rope there in that little exchange. I always love when I actually know the submission names without puns.
Yeah. I love it. All right, Astrid.
What I love about this match too, on top of everything that Mel mentioned, is the fact that, and this is something that usually the heels do, which was interesting seeing them from both of them here, is the fact that you see Kairi kind of working Shayna's ribs in her abdomen area versus Shayna working Kairi's arm, so she can't do the elbow, and even throughout the match, I like the storytelling they have here of like, I'm trying to find a point and I'm trying to make it weaker throughout this match. And you can see that happening very often when Shayna does the moves that she does, because I can't even explain them, to be honest. And she's always focusing on her arm. And the way that Kairi sells every one of Shayna's moves was just amazing to watch. And I also love the beginning of it. I think it was like a test of strength, if I'm not mistaken. And you see Kairi's flexibility there as well. I love her fiery like attitude that you get throughout this match. It's like she starts kind of quiet, of like trying to like to see how Shayna's gonna go, and then you can see her firing up as the match really moves forward. And as I was watching it with Mel, and I tell her, it's like I love how Kyrie's able to connect with the crowd in such a minimal way, because she does that plank walk, and even like the crowd is doing the stuff with her, you can hear it. And when she's not able to connect to Shayna, you can hear the reaction from the crowd like right away. And it's always interesting to see that dynamic, because a lot of people don't get to have that connection with the fans, and she has it when it comes to the crowd like that. It's amazing to watch it. And again, I like the back and forth they have with each other. They really felt like pretty even throughout this match, and it was like interesting to think how they were even with both having different wrestling styles too. I do love having Shayna in control, and even just me, like in my mind, I knew Kairi was gonna win because I knew that's how I had seen it. But at the same time, when I think about it from an outsider's perspective, I feel like they could have gone either way, because the match was pretty even in here, and I feel like they could have picked either winner, and it would have been fine either way. But I do love seeing Kairi winning this and getting that spotlight for herself in there. I do love having the girls at ringside taking the pictures of her when she wins and she gets the roses. And then even Lita points out, I was like, oh yeah, most of the girls were taking her picture when it was happening. And to see people like Asuka who's there building that ground for like the women that been in NXT, and people like Kairi that keep that legacy moving forward. And you also obviously mentioned like we have 3 out of the 4 horsewomen. We have Bailey, Becky, and Charlotte at ringside, and we also have Summer Rae, who, in my opinion, I'll say this right now, is very underrated. Doesn't get enough credit for what she did in NXT and building the future of these girls and for the horsewomen, because she was the one that started like usually having storylines with most of them. But it's nice to see that of like those women being represented here at ringside, and it's very special seeing this. And again, it's like every time I see it, I love the presentation. I wish that we just keep doing it. I wouldn't say every year, but at least every couple of years, and maybe every 2 years or so, start doing something like this, because there's so many girls right now that could really take this opportunity and take advantage of it. So I would love to see that happening. I'm like, if this is one of the years, I think this is one of the years you can easily bring this back, because there's so many girls that could be a part of this tournament somehow.
Preach. Also, I don't like Summer Rae, but
I mean, I'm not saying she's a good wrestler, but I feel like at the same time she like helped build up all these girls. That's a different story. But she really helped build up all these girls that like in NXT, because she was the one that really started like helping Sasha become like the boss when she was in NXT, and helping and I get that attitude that she was like, oh, doing it with flair. So as I always credit her for like being that kind of like influence, at that time. And I think a lot of people talk about Paige and Emma, and then they jump to the 4 horsewomen, and they don't think about Summer Rae, who was that in between there, like building and helping these girls up. So I feel like even though obviously she's not a great wrestler, but I feel like as an entertainer, she entertained me when she was on screen. But she was also helping a lot with the girls behind the scenes that a lot of people don't talk about often.
It's not talked about often, because most people like me only see her for the quality or lack thereof quality of wrestling. But you're absolutely correct. She really helped define some of these wrestlers that went on to do bigger and better than we even realized. One thing I did want to mention about this match that took me by surprise for a minute. Yes, Kairi Sane is using a lot of more stardom kind of holds and submissions, and Mel Ball mentioned the Zack Sabre Jr., which now I want to go rewatch that and kind of compare. But I feel like her being in NXT and even in the main roster kind of dimmed that style a little bit, where I feel like I'd love that to come back. That fierceness, that ferociousness, the I don't know, it's more cutting, right? It's not as expected. Things happen. And I mean, Kairi Sane's spear is a little, it reminds me of like a little dagger, just like poof, getting you right in the gut. And I love that she was targeting Shayna's ribs in that way. There was a size difference going into this match, but knowing how Shayna took a little bit of extra time seemingly to be a little bit cocky, and it didn't pay off for her in this match. There were a couple near falls. There was one near fall that was really close to the ropes, which I was like, are you really going to try and pin right next to the ropes? Hello, ring awareness. And right there, she grabbed the rope. So that was really great. But Kairi didn't let Shayna get off easy. Okay, sure. You want to kick out of this near fall? She hit her again with that elbow, which I thought, again, why is this not on WWE television still? Why is this like cutting kind of invasive dagger-like wrestling not part of WWE as much? And I don't want to say that WWE has softened Kairi or Io or Asuka, but it is evident. And I know that we're kind of seeing that with Julia right now in NXT, and the things that I've seen with Julia is she does has that dagger kind of wrestling style. Why does WWE buff out the edges? Makes it a little bit cleaner. I don't want it to be clean. Make it dirty. Make it dirty. I want it to be the most
Will
dirty
they?
suplex, and I want it to be a dirty elbow. I want it to be a dirty moonsault. I want it to look devastating. And I want it to be in women's wrestling. I'm sick of it just being in men's wrestling. Let the women fight. Come on. But I like that Kairi didn't let up Shayna. And I don't know. I she responded to everything, but I think Kairi really pulled out as the winner of this match. I mean, just her going to the top rope, doing her insane elbow right into the ribs, and you just see her cover Shayna, and Shayna is holding her rib. And I want to know, did you think that that was going to be the end?
I didn't actually know who won this tournament, so this was all a surprise for me.
Yeah.
So, but I kind of actually felt in my heart that it would be a smart kind of way because you could tell by the four horsemen woman in the fight
Mhm.
women being at present that Shayna Baszler was going to be a part of the company in some way, shape, or form, irregardless of the win. So I kind of felt that they might hand it to Kairi just to kind of ensure that both got to stay around. And of course, looking at today, that was obviously the case.
Mhm.
But Auntie, to go to something you had mentioned, this is why I tend to be a little critical of North American wrestling versus the Japanese style because the Japanese style is very cutthroat like that. It very much is those strikes connect, those kicks connect. There's a lot of crazy ish happening, but like
Mhm.
also a strong high percentage of the men and women in professional wrestling in Japan have some kind of martial art background that they successfully can integrate. You see it in Churi, you see it in Oka Sasaki, who recently faced Shinsuke Nakamura in Pro Wrestling Noah. Like, there's a lot of really successful transitioners. Tom Lawler is another example. Like,
Mm.
so many, so many. Koji is my little service dog, Millie. That's why he's always on stream. He always comes around.
I'm here for it. Astrid, what did you think about the fighting styles? I know that you watch NXT week after week, and you see Julia, and you see Stephanie Vicor, and you see all of these NXT talents. What did you think about the fighting style here compared to what is being on NXT?
It feels very similar because to me, that's why I always kind of separate NXT a little bit from WWE, just
Mhm.
because like you said, you see people like Julia being the way she is in NXT, but then she goes to the main roster and it kind of changes a little bit. And
Mhm.
I don't know why the difference happens the way it does, because like I mentioned before when we saw Shane at the beginning here, the Shayna had like a similar style in NXT the way that we saw in this match, but then she went to the main roster and it changed. Like I said, it's like I don't know why that change happens, but you see it happen more often in NXT that they do have the like very quick cutthroat kind of style that in the main roster you don't see very often. And this is why one of the reasons why I enjoy NXT so much is because you see that style being different than the main roster. And it's hard to even describe it at this point, but I love that kind of like quick, fast paced style that they have. And I feel like that happens very often in NXT versus it doesn't happen often in the main roster. And I don't know if it's them playing it a little bit more safer because they're working more dates than in NXT, for example. But again, it's like I love that kind of style that just like you feel like if you blink, you miss something because they've done so many moves in just a quick couple seconds. And you see that happening here. It's like that quick pace that they have with each other, the back and forth. And just like it just feels so crazy to even watch it and keep up with when you're trying to take notes on it because it's just that quick. And even how they're different, but at the same time, I like how they're pretty even and on the back and forth they have with each other here. And that's why even like me knowing the result, it just feels like, oh, they could have any one of them could have won it because of the way that it played out. But again, I don't know why the styles are different, but at the same time, that's why I prefer watching NXT a lot more.
Yeah. I do have to say I understand why you would probably rather be watching NXT over, I don't know, Ring of Honor. Because it,
Yeah, with championship material like Layla Gray. Oh,
but with that said, I think NXT is well worth the time now that it was 7 years ago, and it'll continue to be fantastic, but I don't want to say it's over. We crowned a new champion of Mae Young Classic. Do you think Mae Young would be happy to see this?
I mean, I don't see why not. I feel like they've showcased women very well.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Here, I'll
I agree.
overlay this picture. I
Oh,
thought that this
love
picture
it.
spoke actual words
Wh-
more than we could say. I mean, look at this. Kairi is ecstatic. Shayna looks like she's absolutely selling everything.
Hmm.
I just want to know, where is that gauntlet trophy now? Where do you think it's sitting?
And in the warehouse they have the warehouse,
Listen,
and this
if
is
I went,
why I would love that Hall of Fame like they want to do that they have been rumoring that they want to do in Orlando for so long that it's almost like a como I don't want to say historical, but like one of those buildings that we have with the memorabilia they can go and attend to and see everything like that, like the trophy.
oh,
And they have rumored this to be in Orlando for so long, and it never freaking happens. And I was like, I would love to be in that building and be able to see all these like trophies and like the championships and like so many things that they use like once and it's done, and just see it displayed there. You're just like, oh, this is from WrestleMania. This is from the first
hmm,
Million Club. This is from the Raw premiere of
Right?
whatever. And it's like those kind of things, like kind of like a museum in a way. And it's if you have been to it, it's kind of like a Planet Hollywood restaurant. It's like have the
I was
restaurant
about
on
to
the
say it's like Planet
exhibition.
Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. I trust me, you have no idea how much I wanted that in here. And for them to use that same, like, I don't want to call it a store, but like kind of like a store like that to do meet and greets
Hmm.
here in Orlando, I feel like that would do really great. And every time I
Yeah.
get excited thinking it'll happen and it won't happen. And last time like the rumor happened when one of the buildings closed down in what we call City Walk in Universal. So I was saying, yes, my hope is back, it's coming there. And then they open a restaurant. It's like, dang it, and it's not coming. Yeah.
I mean, think about the money they could make, though. I mean, it might be expensive for them to set it up, but they would make all that money back, especially if they're having regular events in Orlando.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
they just had
Because
to
the
take all of their stuff out of Titan Towers, so
Yeah, instead of paying the tower to store the shit, you can have it in a place for people need to pay to see it.
Yeah. Plus, I like make
Hallelujah.
it a restaurant like Planet Hollywood. Do meet and greets over there every so often.
another
Yeah,
WWE restaurant.
and
Ah,
they could be wrestling
Hey, I'm
themed.
giving them ideas.
listen.
Themed. You could have a
So,
hot dog with Slim Jims in it.
okay, did you see WrestleMania 17, right? So the WWE restaurant used to be in Times Square in Manhattan, which, like, that's so expensive, you weirdos. But I digress.
Yeah.
Um, it just looked like so much fun because, like, the atmosphere is like kind of like a Planet Hollywood. There's just all these
Mhm.
wrestling things. There were like wrestling arcade things. It was just
Yeah.
a a restaurant for wrestling fans. But if you watched I think it was Tough Enough, like the first season, they did like auditions there, and they did like some meet and greet stuff at it, which is like, could you imagine in just Times Square just seeing like Kevin Nash, just all 7 feet of him just standing there being like, come to
Which
our
version?
the 2001 version.
I was gonna say the Magic Mike version we might have.
Or,
I wouldn't
not
mind.
2001. What Tough Enough was 2000 to the 2011.
Can we change the version? Can we put the Magic Mike version of Kevin Nash there?
Yes, we could put whatever version of Kevin Nash there.
Okay.
But just like
Okay.
imagine like in Orlando, what I mean, wherever, you know, the having it within the vicinity of the performance center so you could drive by the performance center, you know, having that all down there would be pretty great. I hear people go to Orlando for things like, I don't know, Disney, I don't know, Universal Studios.
Happiest place on earth could be happier with some wrestling museum.
I know.
People are already vacationing there. That's why it was so weird that it's like New York City. I mean, yeah, it's like one of the busiest places ever, but Times Square is also one of the most expensive real estate ever. I mean, if Toys R Us couldn't make it, I mean,
I'm still waiting for them to make Magic Mike 3D. Could you
3D?
imagine? 3D. Could you imagine? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Massive. Could you imagine the marketing on that?
Massive.
Massive marketing.
Y'all,
Oh,
this
God.
is a women's wrestling podcast.
We're talking women things. It's after dark.
Off the rails for sure. But yes, we have crowned a winner of the Mae Young Classic Season 1 and Kairi Sane. Does this make you excited for Season 2?
Still does.
Yes.
Still does?
Because I haven't seen any of these, so I'm just excited for more wrestling.
I don't blame you. But
this is what bring you the entertainment after dark.
yeah, right? But I'm excited to compare the two because I personally think that Season 2 is going to be better. There's more women, there's more action, there's better commentary. I'm excited for more commentary. Before we do our plugs, tell me something that you are excited for Season 2 of the Mae Young Classic, something that isn't already evident. I know I'm putting you on the spot, so I'll go first. I think the easy one is I'm ready for commentary to actually be intelligible.
Yeah.
Is that too hard? I'm excited for it to be like, oh, I understand these names. I understand storyline. I want to know more about people in the ring and out of the ring. I'm really excited for commentary to not suck. No shade to Jim Ross. I just think that one of the pillars of sexism in the late 90s and early 2000s being the voice of commentary for an entire season for a women's wrestling tournament was a little weird in my opinion. I loved seeing Lita incorporated, but I need Jim Ross.
Skedaddle.
But yeah.
I agree.
All right. Astrid, what are you looking forward to for Season 2 of the Mae Young Classic?
What I'm thinking about more than anything, like watching it now, because like I said, I went to this one, so I didn't necessarily watch it on Peacock or anything like that. I want to see if I remember like what I remember from being there. So I'm looking forward to seeing like kind of my memories being brought back to life, if that makes sense.
I like it. All right, Melbo. We've taken the good ones.
You have. I have to look deep into my brain for this one. I think though I got something. A little nugget. the thing I'm looking forward to the most is a word I've been using a lot in women's wrestling in particular in the last year, which is the evolution of the
Ooh.
women participating, because I know there are some returnees. I know there's some familiar faces coming in that I know from other places that have gone through massive evolutions since this tournament, and even during this tournament. So I am looking forward to seeing the evolution of the women and therefore the evolution of the tournament. Are we still going to get this kind of obvious combination of newbies and vets at the beginning? Are we going to see, a different combination of that? I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Excited at the evolution is a mystery. Had to throw it in there.
Yes.
Yes. It is good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Melba, tell us where we can find you.
If you're wanting to follow a Melba, you can follow me on the X thing at Collins Melba. You can follow me on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky at Melba Collins. You can also find me with my partner, 2/3 Andre C, on our YouTube channel, Andre Melba Wrestling Talk, where we talk New Japan, Mari Gold, Stardom, Noah, and the local Edmonton, Alberta wrestling scene. We drop content there like weekly. It's a lot. It's a lot, but we watch a lot of wrestling. So tune in to see what we got going on over there. You can also catch me on here with Auntie on Thursday for the Honor Ramble with Kyle Sparks as well, where we are struggling, but we are surviving.
Struggling.
We are a hardy people.
Struggling. Yeah.
You can also catch me on Fridays with, again, Andre C, where we do our Japanese wrestling update to update you about all the wonderful, wacky, and crazy, incredible arm-flailing tube man things happening over in Japan, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And we are going to be live again this Friday because our wrestling show isn't until Saturday. Yay! I think that's it. Oh, and you can also catch me on Esther Bizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Latest Wrestling Showcase.
Then she's quick today. There you
I
go.
know.
You can find me tomorrow doing Taking Over with Ed. Is I think the last episode, if I'm not mistaken, before Vengeance Day. We are recording our preview on Wednesday, so you'll hopefully get a preview of Vengeance Day over the weekend somehow with a special guest that we'll be talking about a little bit later on. Thursday, you can find me doing Ring Respect Radio. We're gonna go through the territory, so we're gonna be talking about wrestling in Puerto Rico. And
Ooh.
Friday, you can find me doing Making an Impact. No, I think maybe that's a maybe for now. But yeah, and then you can find me. Well, next week we won't be here. We're gonna take a week off because we deserve it after recovering of this. And then the week after that, we're gonna start season 2. So really excited to be talking about it. And then you can find me on my Twitter, Blue Skies, Astrid Pizarro, my Instagram and Threads as Pizarro20. And if you're on my YouTube channel, you can hit subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I upload or go live, and hit a like on the video too. It'll be appreciated.
I love it. Love it. Well, hey, hello. I am Auntie Collins. I'm everywhere there is a social media _ queer auntie. If they don't allow underscores, it's just queer auntie. I'm here live every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday on 3 different kind of post shows. Well, this is a women's classic wrestling podcast with these 2 lovely ladies. On Thursdays, I'm doing the Honor Ramble live post show with Melba Collins and Kyle K. Sparks. And then Saturdays, I'm here as well for a post show for RuPaul's Drag Race called the Mother Tucking Post Show with my co-host Jose on the air. This week we are doing the Snatch Game, which if you know anything about the Snatch Game, it's about to get crazy. And I might, I don't know, dress up like somebody. So you won't want to miss that. On Sundays, I am over on Fightful Overbooked for Wrestling Made Me Cry, where we talk about how wrestling made us cry. We did a Grand Slam preview, and we're going to probably do a post conversation and see how much I cried at different things that happened at Grand Slam. We are also doing a predictions for Grand Slam on Saturday. So you won't want to miss the fun. And yes, on a ramble where I make Auntie laugh her socks off. My socks were literally laughed off last week. So you won't want to miss that.
Fantastic.
I also have my own show. It is called the Collins on the Rocks podcast. We are doing happy hour once again. We've taken a couple weeks off, but you won't want to miss it. So go follow me on all social medias so you know when we go live. And speaking of when we go live, you are on our channel, our local establishment. They are everywhere there is a social media. You should give us a like, give us a follow, tell your friends about us. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. Please engage with us. We love it. I'm an attention whore, so I need all the attention here. So tell us what you think about the show right now in the comments down below. You know you want to. And Replay Crew, hi, I love your face. I see you watching it. I see what you're doing, and I love that you're here. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better team. We made it through season 1, and we are into season 2. I am so stoked. I'm so stoked. Thanks for entertaining my little brain project. And let's jump right into season 2. All right. Well, women's wrestling matters. See you next time. Bye.
I teach you